on. A lot of things on the line, and those includes not just the ego of these players. It's a community cup. You don't want to lose in a casual setting, right? But the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950 graphics cards as well. But there is a lower bracket, so don't worry even if they lose here. So shout out to sponsors, Gigabyte as well as NVIDIA. This is Babel, and we're into game number 1. Of course, I do apologize because I will be opsing this manually. And that will be interesting to see. We've got some of the controls popping up already. Okay, so on the blue team, it is going to be what looks like myRevenge and Miss Finer. He'll be playing as the Tira Capricorn, playing as the Jaina Zeppi. On to Zero 2, Foe will be playing as the Spock Harzim, as well as Slideabite on the Warrior, Muradin. And on the red team now, it is going to be Get Rekt. Ray will be playing as the Malfurion, not going to be on the Warrior. Kazu there onto the Rainer, Realizer as the Warrior instead. That will be the Joanna. Julian will be playing as Zagara. And we've also got Virgilus playing as the Abathur. And that's it. We've got both sides going on. They're just doing a bit of a nice showdown at the middle lane right now. We'll talk about talents in just a bit. And that's it. Okay, now looking at the talent choices. It is going to be Regen Master for Tyrael. We've also got Block on Zeratul. Not going to go for Seasoned Marksman. As well as Reverberation, Transcendence. And you've also got Conjurer's Pursuit coming up for Jaina. So Conjure instead of having extra reach. I think we're actually going to try and change the up mood a little bit. So I do apologize for this. And unfortunately, he's not going to load up, so we're going to change this up for the next game. Alright, so bottom lane, we've got Foe Capricorn here. Julian Ray as well. We're looking at some very good early game pressure from Julian Ray on this lane, but they do have the Jaina here just to clear the wave. Back on the Blizzard talent, I actually like to see the Deep Chill getting picked up there. I think that's really important for Jaina, but opting to go for Conjure for more sustained mana. That's going to be interesting to see. On the side here, it's going to be Reverb. Somehow, it seems like the Perfect Storm build is not so popular ever since the latest patch, and a lot of things have changed. The last time we did an NSG tournament was back in August, or rather July specifically. And it's been, I think, about a total of 3 months from then till now. On the side of the red team, we've got Get Rekt, Reconstitution, and Venom Nest, Moonburn, as well as Seasoned Marksman and Night Tech Sponsor. This is not going to be the standard Malfurion build. We're looking at a little bit more extra lane push. Moonburn, in case you guys don't know what it does a little bit extra damage to minions and mercenaries. And it's important if you want to go for camps as well as lane pressure. And that's exactly what Get Rekt wants to do. They want to make sure that they play safe, they push the lanes. And myRevenge, they're trying some form of rotation earlier part, but they're not able to get any success with that. So in terms of seat counts, looks like both sides got their fair share of 30 seats from the small Shamblers. The big one looks like they're not going to summon anything here. A total of 90 plus seats for both sides will be the result of the first night. Alright, so in terms of composition, you're going to see some form of a good push coming out quickly from Get Rekt. Abathur going for a Toxic Nest build. Now this is the main reason why the rotations from myRevenge is not so successful. So this was really well done on the side of Abathur. I think that it's important to note that those Toxic Nests with some extra slows, as well as reducing the cooldown by 2 seconds. We've also got a little bit extra damage over 3 seconds, a Venom Nest there. So the Nest build is really important in this kind of setting against early game heavy, rotation heavy comp. That's going to be pretty fair to see. We've also got Rampant Growth, which would mean a little bit more heals for Malfurion. Going for this, it will stack up pretty well with the level 7 Talon. I will not want to see Cleanse, but I think that he actually may be forced to go into Cleanse here because of the amount of lockdown that the blue team offers. Looking at myRevenge with a very interesting set of stuns coming in. Alright, it will be Protective Shield as well. For Harzim, you're also going to see Snowstorm, which will be increasing the radius by 30%. This will be pretty good. Thunder Burn coming in as well. This would leave a zone that basically explodes after 2 seconds, doing some extra damage and some more slow. Focus attack here, and Even in Death. Now, Even in Death is popularized by the current teams. It provides a little bit more extra burst and make sure that the tier knows that he doesn't need to be playing too safe. Okay, level 5, both sides, best of 1. This will be fun. And both teams playing very safe. This is what you get when you do a best of 1. Both teams knowing that they don't want to go down to the lower bracket. And Bruiser Cam going down already quickly. In terms of laning, Epither top lane, not much of a nice... I would say that's going to be okay. Okay, nice relocation down to the bottom. Verge there, very, very attentive. I actually said he's not very flexible, but look at this. He's playing as specialist. Reliza with Night Take Spawn, of course, that has been changed. In the latest patch, he's now 300%. Instead of the original amount of damage, I think it deals 150. It may, I think, actually scales over time. Yeah, it should. Okay. So Kazu top lane, some form of good pressure there by Get Rekt. Misfinder rotating. Having 2 warrior comps, statistically speaking, 2 warrior comps, they are the best in the current meta. They provide a lot of good zoning, and you're also going to be looking at a lot of difficulty by the enemy to reach the back line. So that means that Jaina's probably going to stay safe and has a lot of space to play aggressively. Looking at more talent choices at level 7 right now. Better momentum coming in as well as First Aid, Piercing Bolt to double stun, Echo of Heaven, so this is going to be it. And Ice Lance coming, there is no need for cleanse on the side of myRevenge. And going into Ice Lance instead of the usual Jaina build here, this is going to mean that it's a possible Icy Vein little buff there on level 13. And that coupled with Numbing Blast on Northern Exposure at level 16, it is going to be very painful Jaina. The math here is about level 20, you're doing 600 damage, Kill Frostbolt at 0.6 seconds intervals. Muradin with a bit of a nice jump in. And of course the Stumbolt connecting only on Reliza. Epither providing the extra link, so making sure that even if the team needs to go for a 4v5 engagement, Epither is going to be there to suck the lane and make sure that the EXP lead is not going to be too much of a problem here for Get Rekt. In terms of myRevenge, the whole team is slowly getting a little bit extra EXP lead here, primarily because of the ability to utilize mercenary camps and to apply pressure across 3 lanes. Get Rekt, they should really be splitting up the soak right now. We may actually see a flank coming in. There's a lot of insane lockdown actually on the side of Get Rekt. You're looking at Blast Shield as well as Devouring Maw, but I don't really think that there's much of an effect here coming in from Devouring Maw, even if you use Clans. So Echo of Heaven definitely is a much needed talent choice here for Karazim. Kazu picking up that. Abathur going down. Zeratul, nice hunt there. Great job. That means that Get Rekt's not going to get level 10 first for sure. They may not even have the space to go for the Garden of Terror. The Garden Terror, actually. So, Terror spawning on both sides already. 100 seat counts. But they don't have just about 1 minute. They don't really have to go back to summon it up immediately. It is going to be Judgment, Void Prison, Avatar, and 7-sided Strike for sure, and Ring of Frost. So, we will see the Ring of Frost combo up quickly with the Void Prison here in game number 1. myRevenge opting for a top lane Shambler instead of a bottom lane Shambler. Reliza going directly into the Garden Terror. It will be Johanna in sight, so that means they don't really have Blast Shield to work with, even if they heal level 10. The lockdown, the setup may not be perfect, but Reliza, what he actually offers is a little bit extra utility in the form of, you can see that nice little polymorph effect right there. And he's just buying some time, making sure that they get level 10 first before the next fight. Misfinder going directly into his own Shambler right there. And the plant going down as well. So it's going to be bottom lane aggression coming out from the blue team. But Reliza now dropping some HP down to 50%. And Zappy there, along with the rest of the team, applying a lot of damage onto what looks like 30 seconds Garden Terror on the side of Get Rekt. Both sides playing a little bit too safe for my liking. But we know that Julian needs level 16. He needs a Brute expansion. He probably want to go for that for more damage. There's a severe lack of damage on the side of Get Rekt. Raynor is going to be okay, but you want to have a second damage dealer, which is primarily just used to apply some good damage, and I think those Mutalis is really important at level 13 as well as 16. Realizer almost going to respawn as Janna right here in the mid lane. And so far in terms of damage, I'd say that we're going to see the mid towers going down. And Realizer respawns as Janna. Mistfinder has got a total of 15 seconds to push the mid lane. But still, a total of 1 kill, and that's the Abathur kill, by the way. The plan is not very effective, but the healing well will go down. Alright, evaluating the damage to those structures there, I think mid lane we're looking at a similar amount of damage except for the 4 difference. Bottom lane still more damage onto the structures there. On this side looks to be pretty okay. We have got a fight here. Realizer goes in, Condemn connected on 2 targets as well. Second, Johanna is behind. Here we go. We're going to see some damage. 7-star strike coming quickly from Karzim. But Foe is going to pull back. He's got some protective shield on him. He's going to take the fall. And that's a whiff on the Devouring Maw. Slider Bite pulling right back. Virgil is still applying some pressure on Capricorn. Jaina's going to be okay. And it seems like Shield Glare is not going to be now. Slider Bite a little bit out of position as well. Karzim is gone. The 2-man stun coming in. But Murden, he is just going to try and buy time. And that's going to be pretty okay. 2 men down against 0. So far, we're seeing Get Rekt maintaining the level lead. Slight negligible level lead, but still very good. They've got Abathur now and a total of 15 seconds to soak the top lane. As well as unobstructed ability to go for the Shambler here. But they don't have enough for the next night. This is primarily because I think myRevenge, they had the earlier level 10. They were able to get the smaller camps, as in the smaller Shamblers first. They have a second tier, so this means that you will see a bit of a lead for myRevenge if the next fight is even. If it's not even, and if it goes in favor for them, then they're going to get even more. But yes, the heroics for Get Rekt will be Devouring Maw, as well as Ultimate Evolution. You've seen that just now. And Tranquility, and what looks like Hyperion and Blast Shield. So it will be Mutalis coming out. Bombard Strain, it is going to be a split push-centric Abathur. Not going to go for Monstrosity though, because this map is not as ideal to play that. I think that going for Ultimate Evolution is really important. You see 2 Joannas applying a lot of good, you could say, crowd control there with 2 Condemns, getting them in position for the Devouring Maw. Unfortunately, there was a whiff on Julian's part. But those towers will go down. And Slider Bite, he's already down 50% HP. Still got 1 full minute, shouldn't be taking so much damage. We've got a bit of a burst coming from Zappy on the back lines there as the Zeratul. The plan on the side, doing some damage against this healing well. Abathur top lane, Virgilus there doing a pretty good job maintaining the level, you could say, lead here. Slight lead, but the more accurate word would be the level pressure. So Slide Bite having to push the mid lane. The problem I have here with this play from myRevenge is that I think that the whole team should be sticking closer to the Terror. The Terror is taking way too much damage. He still has got 30 seconds. He could have played very aggressively at this push instead of the bottom push, because they didn't get the fort at the bottom lane. Realizer with a Condemn, by the way. And we're going to see the Terror landing what's called the Queen's Curse. Now that I know it's called Queen's Curse. I used to call it the Hex. it's the Queen's Curse on Slider Bite's Terror. And mid lane, you're also going to see the Overgrowth coming in just to do some damage. And Realizer dropping a lot of HP there. Or rather, sorry, the Terror dropping there. Alright, level 14, both sides, still very fair and even. More talent choices being revealed here. Imposing Will, Wormhole, Spell Shield, Quicksilver, and Icy Vein. So it will be a Machine Gun Jaina build, as my fellow NA-casters love to call it. But I call it the Frostbolt build. It will be 200 damage, I think. No, 600 damage at level 20. 0.6 seconds cooldown. Northern Exposure is really going to buff it up by even more. You're looking at really bursty damage from this Jaina. Quicksilver here is really important because that also gives you and target extra 30% movement speed. That's the extra buff that the team needs because they're looking at a dive comp here. So any fight pre-16 looks like it's going to go for myRevenge. The last fight was a little bit of a mishap there by the whole team, but there goes the Void Prison. Unfortunately, not really well executed, but the rest of the team will swing by. Joanna's not going to be here. They don't have enough crowd control. Kazu's dropping a lot of HP. There goes the 7-star strike. Virgil is also going to spawn as the second Rainer here. Some extra damage on the foe. Virg buying some time, but Julian's not going to be able to just help the teammate there. Zappy dropping. Unfortunately, Q doesn't connect there, and Kazu will be able to take out the Zeratul, but they want more, and Capricorn has to pull back. Here comes Murden, and he is here for game. Julian is in a lot of trouble. Will take the fall. Blast you from Liza, not going to connect. The condemn will. Fall will go down, as well as Capricorn. The fight will go in favor of Get Rekt right now, but Sliderby is still opting a lot of extra damage as the Murden. They're jumping in, and it seems like Get Rekt's losing a lot of HP here. Kazu still is going to get the adrenaline rush in just a few seconds. Will not get it off just yet, but will go down. Rainer, he trades nicely with Murden. Reliza will pick it up, and even in death, may actually pick off Ray. Yes, it will. So it's going to be 5-4 exchange, but that fight goes to Get Rekt. Great execution there. Some skill shots didn't connect, but in general, you could see that the fight was very well developed on both sides. And the important thing here is that you've got a lot of damage there. The zoning was perfect, and Get Rekt made sure that at least they were able to cope that fight without full strength in the earlier part of that. Of course, I think that Zappy's Void Prison could be improved as well. We've got a replay ready for you guys. I actually forgot where we actually do replays here in SEA. Let's do that. Okay, we're waiting for the replay. Meanwhile, Reliza is going to go for the Shamblers. Here we go, replays up. And this is what happened. Look at the Void Prison. I'd like to point out the positioning here on Miss Finer. You can see that it will be a pretty interesting zona on Julian. The Ring of Frost is pretty good on Kazu. Unfortunately, great plays there by Villagers make sure that Kazu is not going to drop. The tail end of the 7-star strike actually went in favor for Get Rekt, not bursting down Kazu, and Kazu healing up a lot. Ray on the back line with the support plays. They're doing a very good job on that. Some extra heals from Foe. The Echo of Heaven is going to pop a little bit here. Bless Shield not connecting, but at this point in time, you can see that the damage coming out from myRevenge is a little bit lackluster. I think that Jaina dropping at the end was the main reason why they were not able to go for the primary build here. By the way, Wormhole has been a little bit extra nerf, you could say. Not going for the full on 3 seconds window, now 2 seconds only. Rainer was a little bit greedy there, shouldn't have kited there, should have just pulled back. That he didn't have Inspire in that moment. You should wait for Inspire before you do such kites. Okay, so here we go. Level 17 still very even game. A little bit of mistakes on both sides, but looks to be pretty okay. So Brute Expansion, Locust Brute, Tenacious Roots as well as Bullseye, and Imposing Presence. And on the side here for myRevenge, Holy Ground, Double Bombs. So it is going to be, I think, a little bit of survival-based ability damage hybrid Zeratul build. Yeah, it is the same old school one. Going for First Aid instead of follow through there. Not as aggressive as the rest of the regions, but has a lot of extra increased sustainability on his Zeratul. You're also looking at Stone Form, Blinding Speed, and Northern Exposure. So yes, it's a damage-oriented one. And Zappy, he is really playing this aggressively. But we've got a God and Terror on the side of Get Rekt. Credits to the last fight. And the whole team pulling back. Level 17 against 18 right now. 16 minutes into this game. Get Rekt, they already have enough damage. myRevenge, I think that the biggest problem in those fights was Jaina not really being able to burst down the same target as Zeratul. And Zeratul going down a little bit too early. So here we go. Zappy does not have Void Prism, by the way. Enough for the next 58 seconds. And you're looking at Reliza at the bottom lane. I think it's a pretty good push there on the bottom fort. In terms of fort, what myRevenge needs to do is make sure that they can push the mid lane. They don't really need to go for both side forts. I think the mid keep is going to be more important. Reliza doing some zoning, but it's going to respawn Jana in just about now. And Julian getting stunned. Miss Finer for the lockdown, but Jaina is now in position. Zeratul as well. Julian is going to be okay. Devouring Maw is going to be a whiff. That buys time. Void Prison, just 20 seconds. Heroics on the side of Get Rekt is down for the next 90 seconds. And no level 20 yet for Rainer, so he cannot play the cooldown reduction on his Heroic yet. Capricorn slider by Foe. Miss Finer going for the Bruiser camp. And you've got Zappy in the top lane. That's actually a pretty good engagement coming up from myRevenge. They know that Judgment's cooldown is slightly faster. As compared to all of the other cooldowns, they've got a 20-second window in between the cooldowns of both Heroics there. And in that 20 second, guess what? You have the third night. That's exactly where they will want to go for those Shamblers. Level 19 soon. Actually, just nicely hitting level 19 on the side of myRevenge. For Get Rekt, then you get level 20. And they want to soak the lane for that first. Julian's going to pick up the Sight Shamblers, the small ones. And a second wave of Blizzard here doing some substantial damage. I think if they pick up this fort here, they're going to get some EXP. And that's going to help myRevenge get a level 20 that they need. Reliza getting spotted out. Zeratul versus Johanna. That's not going to be easy for Johanna to play off against. But here comes Abathur. The rest of the Team 9 in the vicinity, they're probably also going to lose the Siege Camp here. But they are now level 20. And it's going to be Bolt of the Stomp on both Zagara, Raynor. I would not be surprised if Malfurion goes for that as well. Locust Nest is going to be a little bit of a good build here because look at the top lane aggression from Virgilus on the Abathur. Looks to be very good. As well as what looks like a possible... Okay, it is indestructible on Johanna. So blue team gets the Terror again. It is going to be Storm Shield. That's really going to help the whole team sustain even more. It is exceptionally useful against AoE burst. In terms of specific target burst, I don't think so. But here we go, 11-sided strike coming in. Or transgression, as the talent is called. Hardened Shield on both the warriors there. It's going to be Tyrael as well as Muradin. We have got Nexus Blade on Zeratul. Not going to be the Rewind, I think. Rewind is not really good. It actually stacks up pretty well with double bombs for 4 bombs. But Nexus Blade, like I said, this is a right-click hybrid into ability damage build that's being played by Zappy here. It's not really focused on one particular department. I think it's because of the builds on both sides. Spell Shield. Yeah, Spell Shield's getting picked up by Johanna, so they're not really able to use those damage quickly on Johanna. So 4 bombs or 2 bombs, it wouldn't really matter against Reliza there. So Queen's Curse by Julian, getting a bit of body block there by Sliderby. Pretty good job. Reliza sets up the fight, but not going to fall out with Blast Shield. Heroics are all available, by the way. There goes the Queen's Curse connecting beautifully. Here goes a little bit extra help from Rhaenys Hyperion. And Sliderby now dropping some HP as the Garden Terror. Also going to see the Queen's Curse from the blue team now connecting. Julian slapping away at Capricorn. He wants a little bit extra damage there. Respawns quickly as the Zagara looking for the quick extra help. Avoid Prison connects on 2 target. That's the Raynor. As well as Malfurion, the connection there is going to be perfect. 11-sided strike. Not really useful. Bo not going to do the damage. Reliza is going to get indestructible. He does have some extra help there. Iron Shield, Iron Skin's going to be popped as well. There goes the extra heals from Ray. The whole team now chasing after Misfire. And Tyrael drops a little bit too low. They're all going to be okay. And that is going to be no kills on both sides. Sliderby is going to have to pull right back. For the Raid team, what they really need here is to exert some pressure. They can catch the Muradin. Zappy going for Julian, and Zagara goes down. A little bit of mistake. This is where myRevenge can turn the fight around. There goes a 2-man stun. Perfectly done on Kazu as well. Reliza. Kazu in a lot of trouble now. Some extra heals coming in, and he gets zoned out nicely. Ray is not able to hit Kazu in time, and Raynor goes down. Cowboy no more. Zappy, Sliderby. They want more. Get Rekt. Getting wrecked right now. Reliza is going to have some extra HP on Indestructible. It is going to pop right now. Reliza going in for some extra HP help here, and Abathur is going to save a little bit, but Capricorn dropping some HP. Can realize a trade here against the Jaina? I don't think so, but he does it, and down goes the Jaina. You also see Johanna going down. That is going to be about 35 seconds before Raynor respawns, and 60 seconds, 1 full minute before the whole team comes back. Sliderby with the stumble connecting on Ray. But Ray is going to hold off the aggression. The key will fall. Abathur's top lane, well, the Tamp here is actually pretty successful. Taking down both of the tower as well as healing well, and even a gate. So here we've got the Siege Camp in a pretty devastating position. He will go towards myRevenge. And the night is going to happen in just about 20 seconds right now. 20 plus seconds before Johanna respawns. I don't think that Get Rekt is in a position to contest the next fight. So we're going to go into replay right now. Here we go. And Sliderby, great catcher. I mean, look at Sliderby's positioning. This is exactly what won them the fight. Ray is completely boxed out against Kazu. There is no way he could reach them in time. And down goes Raynor. Even if he does reach in time, he does not have Tranquility for the next 50 seconds. This is really well done. On the side of Zappy, picking up Julian was the biggest win there for the whole team, for myRevenge. And we're back to real time. So here we go. We see the seats going up 65 and counting, going up for Get Rekt. And about 90 up already. It would be safe to assume that both teams will get another whiff of terror. Unless their tool... Okay, nice blink. And the Moonburn, or rather Moonfire with the Moonburn. It's gonna connect. Ring of Frost is the whiff, but there goes the Transgression quickly onto the 7-sided strike. It is gonna connect a little bit more. Virgilus is gonna be the second Janna. They're looking for some zone control. And the Void Prison on the backline. That is not what we want to see happen. Unfortunately, Slider by Sniper to zone them out enough in front. And the Devarma connecting on the support clear. For myRevenge, he's not able to do anything there. Ray dropping a lot of HP, no anti-burst. Down goes Malfurion. And now, next target will be Reliza. He does have the indestructible, but he needs to be very careful. There goes the judgment on Julian. Get Rekt now dropping 2 members already. They need a little bit more. They may not be able to get this off. Julian getting saved by Abathur, but Julian will still go down. Nice extra cleave there. And Reliza with the indestructible, but I think the game will go to it. myRevenge at this point in time. There is nothing the whole team can do. What a 4-man team fight from myRevenge. Before this game started, Julian said that this is the easiest game. I don't think so. Great plays by Capricorn. We're going to pull out the replay for the last fight. Let's see if we have that. Yeah, but congratulations to myRevenge. They will continue on in the upper bracket. Get Rekt is going to drop down to loser bracket. Completely unexpected results. This is a little bit of an upset for most of the community here. That's at the Community Cup, by the way. We're casting this offline at the Colosseum Bugis Plus in Singapore. So if you are from Singapore, you'd like to swing by, definitely do join us here. Let's pull up the replay. Look at this beautiful fight here. Great lockdown on the back line. You know, they forced the bolt out really well. And Zappy, he sees an opportunity, waiting for both of them to just congregate at a spot there. Goes in. Great Void Prison. This is what won them this fight here. Immediately could see that the damage burst on the front line is really strong. They just go in, tunnel vision down on Ray. Virgilus did a great job buying time. But up against a Machine Gun Jaina, you're just not going to be good enough, man. There's nothing that could stop the amount of damage coming from the Jaina. Slider Bite, nice stun. Reliza pulling back, but not going to reach the backline time. Judgment was not even used in the fight. And that's really important to lock down the backline even more. The whole team's not able to do anything. I think that taking a fight at a choke point was the biggest mistake for the whole team. You don't want to take a fight there, especially when Devouring Maw is being used at a choke point and the rest of the members are not even close. So myRevenge, great game here being played by them. They will go on to the upper bracket, and the lower bracket will have a strong contender. Get Rekt's going to be there. Get Rekt, obviously, a lot of things needs to be worked on. The positioning on Raynor, he needs to just nicely sync up with his fellow team member, the Malfurion. The support and the damage dealer, you cannot afford to have this kind of mistakes happen. It is not good. In terms of damage, Capricorn, of course, 35,000 for his team. Pretty good job. But as you can see, they don't have a lot of bursts. Virgilus did a great job on the Abathur. But unfortunately, I would say for sure that Julian Zagara just didn't live up to expectation in that game there. We're going to be back after a short break. Next game information is going to be up real soon. We're going to put up the bracket as well once we have the information ready. This is Babel. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in just a jiffy. See you in a bit. Bakatora not really able to do any damage in an instant jungle, applying a lot of pressure. Actually, brother making sure that he's got a lot of the extra pressure being applied there. Another chain stun against Alistruck, but Poison